Good morning, students. This lesson is of class 8 for the subject of history. Chapter 14, the United Nations Organization, which we will continue from page number 156 of your textbook, titled Past and Present 8, and is being submitted to you on 17th May 2021. This voice is of Millie Bhatnagar. Students, in the previous lecture, we had studied how the United Nations was formed, its objectives, principles, and its organ, the General Assembly. Here we will continue with our study of the organs and discuss about the Security Council. It is the executive wing of the UN. The Security Council has 15 members. Out of these, 5 are permanent and 10 are non-permanent members. The USA, Russia, UK, France, and China are the 5 permanent members. They have the veto power. It is the power to give a negative vote against a resolution. So, if any of the 5 permanent members vote against a resolution, it cannot be passed. The 10 non-permanent members are elected by the General Assembly for a period of 2 years. The functions of the Security Council. Number 1, to maintain international peace and security. Number 2, to formulate plans for the regulation of armaments. Number 3, to impose economic sanctions on countries that do not act according to its directions. Number 4, to take military action against the country that poses a threat to universal peace. Number 5, to ask the General Assembly to expel a country if it does not function according to the UN Charter. Number 6, to recommend admission of new members. Number 7, to recommend the name of the person for the appointment as the Secretary General. The Economic and Social Council has 54 members who are elected by the General Assembly for a term of 3 years. This council holds at least 2 sessions in a year. The main function of the ECOSOC is to look after the economic, social, and cultural activities of the UN. It also works for the economic and social development of various countries. The Trusteeship Council was formed to provide protection to the 11 trust territories which were formed after the Second World War. It was up to the Council to make these territories self-sufficient for independence. Now, as all these countries are free, the Trusteeship Council is now redundant. The International Court of Justice is the judicial wing of the UN. It consists of 15 judges from different countries. The judges are elected by the General Assembly and the Security Council, both voting separately. The judges are elected for a term of 9 years, with 1/3 of the judges retiring after every 3 years. All decisions are taken by a majority vote of the present judges. The headquarters of the International Court of Justice is at Hague in Netherlands. The main function of the ICJ is to settle dispute between two or more member countries by peaceful means. It also provides legal advice to the General Assembly, the Security Council, and other agencies of the UN. We will now study about the last organ of the UN, the Secretariat. It carries out day-to-day business of the UN. It is headed by a Secretary General who is appointed for a term of 5 years. He is appointed by the General Assembly on the recommendation of the Security Council and can be re-elected. At present, Antonio Guterres is the Secretary General of the United Nations. Its main functions are: number 1, to keep the record of all the organs of the UN. Number 2, to prepare minutes of meetings. Number 3, to translate important documents and speeches in the official languages of the UN. Number 4, to prepare reports on serious issues that require international concern. Number 5, to organize international conferences. Finally, let us study about the achievements of the UN and India's relation with the UN. The peacekeeping operations in different regions of the world are the significant operations of the UN. The United Nations has helped many countries to gain their independence. Another significant achievement of the UN is the ending of the apartheid in South Africa. The United Nations has made contribution to the social economic development of many countries through its different agencies. India became a member of the United Nations on 30th October 1945. India has served as a member for many bodies of the UN. It has always supported the United Nations in its struggle against colonialism, terrorism, apartheid, and disarmaments. In 1953, Vijay Lakshmi Pandit was elected as the first woman president of the UN General Assembly. So, India has a close and strong relation with the UN. With this, we end this session. Thank you.